I know last podcast we talked about, well, let's give the kids a chance next year. But the more and more I think about it, you got to take a swing this off season. All right, the test, you got to get your franchise player or a star winger to play with. You know when the studying date starts, that's May 5th, and then you know when the test is, it's on June 26th. You got to figure out who your winger is for Connor Bedard. And again, it might be Anton Friedel, could be Roman Kanserov, but to me, you should be preparing that. It's so hard for me to say both Frondell and Kanserov are going to be in the AHL, but honestly, I think you got to plan like neither of them are going to make it. Um, yeah, if Matthew Nyes is available, and we saw so many teams checked on him, including the Hawks at the trade deadline. You have what a lot of teams don't have, and that's a plethora of right-handed defensemen. The Hawks want to make a trade for Matthew Nyes, they can, and you will have to live with the fact that they're probably gonna have to part with one of a Lev Shunov, a Rinzel, or a Crevier. And now I know it might be tough to part with Love Shunov, a second overall pick for a player like Matthew Nyes. Maybe you go Rinzel or Crevier, and maybe you have to add more in a draft pick. But uh, again, I'm acting as if I think the Hawks are going to draft another defenseman, probably another right-handed defenseman. If listen, if they get Stenberg or McKenna, like if they're picking top two and they know they want to go forward, fine. Then I'm fine with them. They don't have to make a splash. But if you know on the test that you gotta pick another defenseman, then you gotta have a plan to get a forward by trade. Like, listen, I would love Jason Robertson, but I just don't see that being realistic, especially within the division. I think Dallas will find a way to keep him aboard, but yeah, if, Matthew Nyes is available, which to me seems more likely. I think he'll be easier to pry away from Toronto. And shit, you were sending me text earlier about Brady Kachuk having attitude issues with the Senators. Maybe that's also another target available. But yeah, over the years, I've been a proponent. Oh, let's take chances on guys like Trevor Zegras. I even think like Capo Caco was available earlier this year. Igor Chinikov got traded. At this point, they got enough lottery tickets. I think the reason why I wanted that before is because it felt like they had no lottery tickets. It felt like it was just Connor Bedard, but now they have a bunch of lottery tickets. Go get a legit winger, please, for the love of God. Like, let's be serious for once, and like let's make this team actually competitive, because yeah, they could go like Frondell and Kanserov, they could all work out next year, but imagine you have Matthew Nyes or whoever else that, wow, you might have two scoring lines for once, because yeah, it's just been Bedard. I just wanted to see them be better. Enough of me rambling on.
Yeah, I'm just such a pessimist with them making a move. I'm over it at this point. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not buying anything that this because one, let's be completely frank, this GM core doesn't show their cards unless they're drafting a right-handed defenseman. Like this front office does not show their hand whatsoever. So anyone saying that they're sniffing around stuff like that doesn't come out till after they fucked up. So like I do believe there's some like truth to the nice stuff, but like if I had like I can count on my whole hand the amount of times I've heard a what if story with a top six forward in Kyle Davidson. Like I don't care anymore. I really don't. Like I really don't. Shit or get off the fucking pot. Like I told you I'm okay with them just running the kids because then 2027 you're either getting fired or you have to make a decision. Like that's just what it's going to come down to. So if he wants it to come down to that, we can. We really can. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. You can force your hand in 2027 so hard because I promise you no one's going to put up with that shit if the kids come over and they're not producing. Promise you no one's going to put up with that in year 4 when Bedard's on his second contract. That's the real reality. He's on his second contract. You have no more fucking around. But whatever. Whatever. It's fine. Like you said, you have all the assets in the world. Like, yeah, oh no, you might not have your first this year. That means you have 3 next year. Like, fucking go trade one of them. Go trade your own. Bet on yourself. Don't bet on yourself. Trade the Edmonton one. Bet on that. That's more funny. But no, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. And I won't buy into it. I just won't. I won't. Because they won't do it. Because they want to see what these guys turn into. Which Cool. You could bet on yourself all you want, but at the end of the day, you're still third last in the league. So, like we said, you had a great point increase. Any other year, it probably looks better than it does on paper. Standard is the standard. The schedule is the schedule. The standings are the standings, and you are third last in the NHL. And let's be honest, your division keeps getting better, and you're not. So either get on board with the arms race or get left at the train station. And right now, they're just waving at the train right now. They're cool with it. They're cool with waiting a lap. And that's fine. Like I'm just used to it at this point. I really don't care. There's nothing we can do about it. So when we see
That's
all
the
these
sad part.
rumors,
can't do anything about it.
Yeah, can't do anything about it. So I just don't buy into rumors. Don't mean to go on a huge tirade to say don't buy into rumors, but just don't. I think I made it very clear on this show for the last year. I'm just so out on insiders being like, I wonder. And that's all Freach does. So I'll take it with a grain of salt, like I always do.
Yeah, I get that because I often think that too. Like, I would love them to make a move, but there's been
I'd love
4
Matthew
past.
Like, he'd be so good. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
But we've had 4 past off seasons to prove otherwise, and like every off season that we've had Bedard, we want this team to get better because you just have such a special talent, and you're just pissing into the win right now. And like at one point, last podcast we talked about okay, what Jake Gensel when they tried to get him, it was probably a matter of, oh, I get to go to Florida where there's no taxes and I get to go play with a team that could potentially win another Stanley Cup as opposed to Chicago where making probably the same amount of money, probably paying more taxes and being on a bottom feeder. And like, yeah, I get to play Connor Bedard. Oh, I get to go play with Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov and whoever else in Tampa Bay. And I also wonder, like, I don't want to go back into this, but like, makes you wonder, like, what I think Columbus just said no to that trade with them getting Demidov. Like, you just wonder, like,
I think Columbus was so dumb in hindsight on that. Like, if we're being so honest, they could have had the 4. What would it have been? It would have been pick 3 last year, and then what else would it have been? Because they were trading. I don't know.
Remember.
I don't know. What? All I know is that they were getting the 2025 first unprotected, and the fact that they didn't want that is moronic from that team. From that Blackhawk team, you were getting an unprotected first.
Dude, you could have got first overall. They're
Dude, you're an idiot. Like, you're an idiot. That's the Matthew Schaefer draft, and you literally said, I don't want a top 3 pick. I'm good. Like, imagine adding Matthew Schaefer to that decor right now.
With Rinsky.
But no, like, and I'm the biggest Caden Lindstrom truther, but reality's reality. You took Caden Lindstrom over Demidov, and he's got a back problem, and you don't have an extra first-round pick to show for it now. Tough look. At least you're good now. We can talk about Columbus, actually. We can change the topic because they're white fucking hot, so it doesn't matter. But point still stands. Like, some of these what ifs, it's just like some people just gotta fucking do it. And like this has gone back since the first Hagel trade rumor. Like some of these teams just gotta nut up and shut up. Like, and honestly, that's why I kind of give Bill Guerin credit somewhat, because at least he has the balls to be like, yeah, we'll just go make the move. We'll just go make the move. Like Vegas at the end of the day just says we'll go make the move. Like Colorado just said, like Dallas just said we'll find a way to make Mikko Rantanen work. You know what I mean? Like
again, why is it the same 5 teams? Like
because they're the only teams that try.
Mm-hmm.
The only teams that fucking try. They're the only teams that have an actual competent front office, and they're the only front offices that have an ownership group that actually wants to win consistently. And isn't just okay with sold out ticket stands and the jersey sales and all this other bullshit. That's literally what it is. Those are 5 ownership groups that want to win every single fucking year. Colorado, promise you they want to win every year. It's the same guy who runs the Rams. Freaking Vegas always wants to win. Promise you Jim Nill and his ownership group have wanted to win since the year the owner came out and bashed Tyler Sagan and Jamie Benn in the media. Like this, like people forget this shit. Like
those were the pre-COVID times. It was a while ago, yeah, but we ain't forget. I don't think they forget.
There's 2 different leagues, honestly. There's just 2 different leagues out there. Like, the whole joke, oh, there's a whole other world out there. That's how I feel when I talk about other NHL teams sometimes. And like, there's two sides of that spectrum. Obviously, there's like the fucking Vancouver Canucks, but then there's what the Vegas Golden Knights are doing, and there's what the Dallas Stars are doing, and there's what all these other teams that have found what to do with their young talent. Hell, I'll even throw San Jose into that because at least Mike Greer has realized, holy fucking shit, I have a superstar. We should probably start putting some people around it. Whatever, man. Whatever. We'll just keep watching the Ferrari in the trailer park and have to pretend like everything's okay. Like, I'm literally watching Bedard go 1-on-4 tonight against Minnesota 4 times and win. 4 times. He's going 1-on-4 against Brock Faber and Jonas Brodin and just getting through them like it's nothing. And he watches that every night and just goes, we can wait another year with Andre Burakovsky, guys. We're good. Like, we make the joke all the time. It's the Moneyball joke. It's Hatterberg at first. Like, they got Pena at first right now. This is such a fucking joke of a franchise. Whatever, though. Whatever. I'm just going to call it an ethical tank to, fucking calm my delusions and anger. God. Joke of a team. Holy smokes. They're going to get, like, and here's the worst part. I'm crashing out right now about him, but, like, he's going to get fucking bailed out and getting McKenna or Stenberg. Like, we know this, right? Like, he's getting bailed out. Like, out of all the teams that is going to get bailed out, Bettman's going to make sure that happens because he realizes that the GM's a moron and won't actually go get someone.
Yeah, they might get gifted with a open book quiz, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned,
fucking put the answers down.
Mm-hmm. As far as I'm concerned, like Stenberg and McKenna, and yeah, I'd be fine with drafting Veerhoff or Reed, but and shit, like if this GM had any balls, Viggo Bjork top 3, but that's not gonna happen. Like if you're picking outside, I would even say the top 3. I have no interest in making
I don't care. You need to hire him forward.
Yeah. I have no interest in watching another draft pick. And yeah, they might be in the NHL in a year or two, but again, Connor Bedard is a superstar, did fuck all with his first contract. And like I didn't expect them to be a good team because you got them right at the beginning of the rebuild. And like with the Blackhawks 20 years ago, you got Taves and Kane right at the end when guys like Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook were developing. But then you help supplement and aid them by getting guys like Brian Campbell, Marian Hossa, and Marty Havlat. Before that, you made your trade for Patrick Sharp. And yeah, I'm excited for Anton Friendell. Guy was a 20 goal scorer in the SHL alongside of some Hall of Famers like Marcus Naslund and Daniel Sedin as the only guys at that age to do that and that difficult of lead. Roman Kantsarov broke a record for, I think, U22 scoring in the KHL. It was a 35 goal score. I just don't think that you should be like putting all your eggs into one basket with that. And again, as much as I think they're going to come over and help out, it's not going to happen right away. It's so up and down. Look at what Frank Nazar has gone through this year. Had a great start to the season, then he got injured, and then everyone's calling him a bust and saying he's not worth that contract, which is so stupid, by the way. Yeah, which is so stupid, by the way, because they were never paying him to be a $6 million player this year. Like that was always going to be the future. And that contract doesn't kick until next year. And now he's still on pace for 55 points despite the injuries and the inconsistencies. I'm like, we got special players here. Their defense is pretty much rounded into shape as well. Like we know who Jeff Blashill likes. That's Vlasic, Crevier, Kaiser, and Lev Shunov has been getting his minutes. Like the young guys are getting their time. We can complain about, coaches, I think just in general across the NHL or don't play their young players. And there's always going to be blind spots. Like I wish Nick Lars got more ice time, but Blashill is playing the guys and they are getting the responsibility of leading ice time and being just leaders in general. It's so frustrating to me.
There's a lot of good things going on. I'm just gonna make the point. The reason we're getting so frustrated, the reason we're being so adamant about this, is because it's quite literally one thing you need to do. It is quite literally one thing you need to do, and it makes this entire fucking roster look different overnight. You get another high-end forward, no matter what. this team looks different overnight. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. You put Matthew Nyes on that team, it looks completely different. It's just a fact. Like, you put a Jason Robertson on that team, everyone slots down a peg. It looks completely different.
I mean, Jason Robertson on a whole other level.
It's just the point.
Yeah,
the point is, you put a fucking actual top 6 forward in the top 6. That's not 30-year-old Andre Burakovsky that's clearly injured. The team operates differently. Everyone has a specific role. And the role they're missing right now is Goose to Maverick. And until they get that, this team is not going to win shit. And we always talk about, oh, the blown third period leads. Oh, they keep losing in overtime here. Oh, they keep losing in overtime there. You know what helps winning those close games?
Having a good team.
Having a high-end fucking forward. You know what always helped the Hawks, like when they were down 3-2 or tied 2-2? Having fucking Taves and Kane and Hossa and Sharp. Not just throw Kane out there 12 times. That worked so good for them in 2021. Worked so good for them. Ran him into the ground to the point to where he needed hip surgery 2 years later. Like, whatever, man. Whatever. It's not rocket science. I think that's why I'm getting so frustrated. It really is not rocket science. And I get it. It takes 2 to tango in a trade. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not oblivious to that. But at the same time, you have so much fucking capital. Just overpay. I don't care. I don't think any of the fan base is going to care if you overpay. As long as it is not like, as long as I better not be seeing Frondell, Renzel in a first for anything. If I see something like that, yes, that's an overpay. We've lost the plot. Whatever. Yeah. But like, if you trade 2 first-round picks, I'm not going to give a shit. I'm just not.
I don't think anyone is. No one cares like about the first-round picks right now.
Anyone is going to care if you overpay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you have to fucking pay an extra prospect, I really don't think anyone is going to care if they lose a Merrick Van Acker or a Vaclav Nestor still to ensure that this team has a forward for the next 6 years with a pulse in the top 6. Like, whatever, man. It's not fucking rocket science. It's not fucking rocket science. Like, we talked about this. You trade everyone but 3 players. That's all you got to do. Anyone but that is available. And if you don't think anyone but that is available, you're not looking at this team properly. Because you can't look at it. You can't look at everything like they're going to, like, this is quite literally the NHL franchise video game. Not everyone is going to hit their ceiling. Not everyone is going to be high top 4. Not everyone is going to be what you think they are. You have to plan accordingly. And like we said, he has his way of planning. He has as many shots in the fucking, he's got it. His clip is fully loaded.
Bullets in the chamber.
Thank you. He has unlimited bullets in the chamber. But you know what helps sometimes? When you got a couple FMJ bullets in there. You know what I mean? Got a couple of, Kevlar breaking bullets. It also helps when, actually have a rocket launcher sometimes. That kind of helps knocking someone down every now and then. And you have one. You know what's crazy? You can get 2, and it's not that hard. It's not that fucking hard. And I'll even go crazier. Just go give Alex Tuck 10 mil. I really don't give a shit at this point. Like, you can afford to do something that dumb. That's the thing. They can't afford that. Most teams can't. You can. Start acting like it. Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they're going to fucking evaporate 35 million cap overnight with the young players. That's not going to fucking happen. Even if he locks all of them up to 8-year deals, that is not going to happen. Plain and simple. So stop planning like you don't have any money. Because you have so much fucking money. I'm done.
Yeah, it's if you plan or like if you fail to plan, you plan to fail or whatever that saying is. And yeah, like I said, I like as much as I would love Frundell and Kantarov to jump into the top 6, like just even being conservative, like if you get 30 goals and like 70-ish points out of them, you're tickled pink. But
you're literally sniffing around a wild card spot. That's why if you get another forward, you're really in a wild card spot. But I digress. You're right. And we're asking for the bare minimum. Not asking for them to both roll into the league and be Artemi Panarin rookie year. You know what I mean? Like,
would be nice, like, but I would
Dead
love to
ass.
marry Lord and Dua Lipa. Like, we can't always get what we
Like,
want.
I think it would be such a win if they did what like we're expecting that, but if they did what DeBrincat and Schmaltz did in 17-18, holy shit, that's a win. Holy shit, that's a win. They both have
I believe we
50-point
yearned
years.
for 17-18, but here we are.
No, like I'm not yearning for that. I'm yearning for
Yeah,
what
I
those
know, I
two
know, I
young
know.
players did. But
Yeah.
you add two 50-point players to this team, it changes the dynamic of the roster. But if you add another 75-point player, that really fucking changes the dynamic of the roster. And Matthew Nyes could really do that. So, like you said, if you're not picking one or two, you should probably start making some calls. Because I do not want to see a right-handed defenseman with any pick this year. I just
And if
don't.
you do, then you need to trade one immediately
ASAP.
for a forward. Yeah, like you need to plan, you need to study for the test. The test is getting a good winger for your franchise player. And listen, like we as fans will complain. There are fans that are to complain more than we are about the lack of help that
Hawks
Connor
get off
Bedard has
easy with
gotten.
us.
Like yeah, exactly. I mean, we're gonna watch the games no matter what. What do the people with season tickets think about this? Like the only way that it's gonna change is if the season ticket holders stop buying tickets and they gotta make money. But like with Connor Bedard, that seems like it's foolproof. People are gonna go to the game no matter what. Um,
People went
I
to
was
the
gonna make
game
a
when
point.
no one was on the team. Like they're
Yep.
it's just the unfortunate reality. It's going to take a lot for them to get back to where they were in the Bill Warts years. Like you really like it's going to literally have to take them not getting on TV ever again, which they almost did. Funny enough, they almost fucking did.
I mean, they
You
are kind
know
of are right now with
what a
what I've heard
genius.
about CHSA
Oh,
or whatever
dude,
it is, CHSN.
CHN is awesome, but I live in Florida, so I can watch it. Old Joe Schmo in Naperville can't, which is the problem. But yeah, like CSHN is actually like probably the best. Like
Dude,
solo
Rick
network.
Ball and Darren Pang are so awesome. Like living in
Dude, they
Canada.
have 4K quality games. Like you can watch the games in 4K for your local team. Like the only team that has that is like the Maple Leafs. And like Canadian, like, like the Habs and Canadian market teams. Like the Lightning don't get that here. The Panthers don't get that. Like they have a very high quality broadcast, which is good because for a long time their NBCSN crew was really good. Their NBC Sports Chicago crew was really good. So the CHSN crew has adjusted nicely. But yeah, like there's a couple positives. I'd probably get Frank Saravalli off the program, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got our own insider. The one that just fucking doesn't announce trade conditions for a year and then gets mad
So he
when
can
people
launch
tell him
his
that
website.
whatever.
I mean,
Anyway,
that's just part of NHL insiders as a whole. But
that's a
to
lie.
to get back to my point about I don't think you should ever listen to fans. I mean, there's a reason we're called fans fanatics. We ride the ups and downs, though it's mostly been downs. You owe it solely to number 98, Connor Bedard, to get him some help. Like when I saw that interview of him say, like, I think he was on vacation with Colton Dock and Ryan Green. Well, he was not playing at the Olympics. LOL. Doug Armstrong, rest in piss, bozo. We'll get in that later.
Clown.
But you owe it solely to number 98 to get him some help. And like, what have I said millions of times over the past few years? What are the point of the money in the draft picks if you're not going to do anything with them? This is the whole point of the rebuild is just get so many bullets in the chamber. And in previous years, of course I always want this team to improve. You want this team to improve. We want help for Connor Bedard, and like especially this year, you're going on your fifth draft. They've had what 11 first round picks, and as far as I'm concerned, they could trade their top 5 pick this year for an elite forward, and they could probably use a bunch of seconds to get into the first round anyways. I am not worried about that. Like, you just got to get this guy some kind of help, and it's there. There's always going to be talent available. You just got to be, and the big thing is you got to be willing to say, okay, I like this guy, but he's not Matthew Nice. And again, that's what separates the elite teams from I don't even put Chicago in this because they just suck. But I think this was what separates elite teams from mid teams is that GMs can honestly say, okay, I like this guy. I did draft him. Like you said earlier, Bill Guavin. I drafted Z Boyum, drafted Marco Rossi. But they're not Quinn Hughes. I wish Kyle Davidson started doing that. There's so much where like I don't think you're going to be able to just trade straight up draft picks for players, but I remember last year just seeing that JJ Paterka trade, how Buffalo got Michael Kessering and Josh Dome back, and I was like, couldn't the Blackhawks have traded draft picks for it? It's like, no, teams want NHL players. You have NHL players you can trade now. Are you telling me Toronto wouldn't want a Louis Crevier? Are you telling me they wouldn't want maybe an Oliver Moore player? Like, and we say this too, you never give up your top end prospect in a trade like that. But if you give Toronto a trade package of like Crevier and more shit, maybe Brad Trevangelian wants big guys and he wants Sasha Boisvert instead. Maybe he gets that and you get a first round pick. Oh no, you still have first round picks next year. You still have all these seconds. You still have a bunch of prospects in your pool. As far as I'm concerned, trade Nestrasol, trade Vanacker. Like they've had enough drafts to accumulate talent. And I think in particular this year, like you could definitely say in previous years they do not. This year they do, and there's no excuse.
Here's the reality. At the end of the day, the top prospect never gets traded. The second best prospect never gets traded. Unless you are
sometimes a third best prospect never does. Like
unless you're a bona fide contender, it never happens. Or unless the prospects like Cutter Gauthier or David Juracek, where they just don't know where they want to go. Or in Cutter Gauthier's case, like Chuck Fletcher gets fired 2 days before you sign your contract. Like,
underratedly, what is going through right now is Flyers fans. Like we say every podcast, we go through kind of the 5 stages, and it's like, and we talk about other teams, it could be so much worse.
Yeah, at least we have a goalie and a franchise center. Yeah. 2 things that they don't have. But, like you said, there's just so many teams that have it worse. But it's neither here nor there. But at the same time, what I was like, when you like the first best prospect doesn't get traded, second best prospect doesn't get traded. Like that, I just don't think there's a world where a Frondell is getting traded or a Levshinov's getting traded. I see a world where Renzel gets traded. It would have to be Jason Robertson for me to be comfortable with Roman Cancer.
Oh, I was gonna say if it's Jason Robertson, I drive Frondell and like Renzel to the airport. Yeah, like
I get it. You get all 3.
It's not. I would love both, but it's Jason Robertson, man. Like,
dude, I'm just telling you, Jack Eichel didn't even get a top prospect. Like, this is this is the fucking reality we live in. Like, I don't know how many. Like, I'm not trying to sound crazy, but like, I bang this drum every fucking time there's a big trade. You're never getting the top prospect. It never fucking happens. These guys are really not that like. I'm not trying to like bash every GM in the NHL, but these guys aren't that fucking good at their jobs. You're not getting the best prospect most of the time. It's just the reality of the situation. Like no one's getting Frondell. I don't see a fucking world where anyone gets him or Levshinov. At least for the next 3 years. Like that's just how it works. Like when was the last time an actual top prospect got traded without forcing his way out? Like, I'm so serious.
To say something that I can't think of one immediately.
Even Seth Jones, Kirby Dach didn't get traded. That was the top prospect. It was Boquist. Like, I don't know the last time a top prospect got traded. Genuinely. Maybe Nick Suzuki. Like, that's how
I was going to say Nick Suzuki.
And Nick Suzuki wasn't even the top prospect at the time.
No.
It was Brandstrom.
No.
Actually,
it was Cody Glass. Yeah.
Exactly. My point stands. Like, it just doesn't. You know what? Maybe Dylan Strome. Like, you got to go that fucking far back. But that's not even the top prospect. Like, fuck. It just doesn't happen. So I'm just not going to entertain that. So, like, when you start hearing Leaf fans talk about returns for Matthew Nyes, I'm just going to start laughing because we did the same thing with Alex DeBrincat. And when the day of the draft comes and you don't have a first-round pick, it's going to start eating at you.
And your rival team or team that's fucked you over so many times is picking 6th or 7th overall. LOL. Yeah, they they feel, I said this last podcast, they feel like a combination of the 17-18 Blackhawks and 21-22 Blackhawks. The worst two Blackhawks teams, I think. At least vibes wise going into that
But
draft.
I'm just speaking, I'm shooting from the hip here. Like, we talked all that time. Oh, if DeBrincat's getting traded, we're getting this, and that. Like, if you're gonna
We're
trade
getting
your top
Ridley
guy,
Grigg. Yeah.
dude, at the end of the day, these guys might just get traded so they can get on the draft board that day. Isn't the draft in Toronto too?
No, it's in
Where
Buffalo.
is the draft?
But
in Buffalo.
It's
Close
Buffalo.
enough. Close enough.
Toronto 2.0.
Exactly. Like hop, skip, and a jump. That's close enough for them to be like, fuck, there's like 5,000 Leaf fans here.
There'll be Leafs fans there. Yeah.
But like, I just think there's going to be a world where Brad Treliving is going to have his hands really, really, really fucking tied. And the only guy with trade on not trade protection is Matthew Nyes, and Kyle Davidson for the first time in his whole career is going to have all the cards in a trade where you're getting the player. Don't be afraid to take advantage. And I know we talked about it. He's a deal maker. He likes to make sure every trade's fair. Fuck that shit. If he actually wants that for a prospect and a first, you fucking do it. If he wants 2 firsts, you fucking do it. I really don't care at this point. But if he starts asking for any of the top stuff on the top shelf, no. We have all the cards here. Fuck you. Like, you don't get that top bourbon. You can't afford that right now. You're gonna get you're not getting that top shelf vodka. You can go get the Tito's for now. Like, you're not getting the Grey Goose. Fuck you. So yeah, that's just my thought process, Pierce. Like, I just don't think, even for Jason Robertson, I don't think a top prospect's getting traded in that. Oh, here we go. Mikko Rantanen didn't get a top prospect. Unless you count Logan Stankoven, but I'd probably say Harley was
Logan Stankoven, but he's not a top prospect.
Exactly. Like,
that's
just the point
like Dallas trading like Wyatt Johnston. Now that would have been interesting, but like that's not a prospect. That's just an established NHL player. And even then, those type of players, yeah. Before we keep, spinning our tires in the mud. And like, yes, they are third last in the NHL, and I think they desperately, like, it would help so much. It would solve a lot of problems easily if they got Stenberg or McKenna. But then, to me, there's the other way around of it. If Bedard and Nazar aren't injured, this team is probably closer to San Jose than they are at the bottom. But then that goes back to my point: shoulda, woulda, coulda. Build a freaking better team, man. Sometimes it's so hard to like do the podcast and evaluate this team. It's like, how do we fairly evaluate when this GM has not tried at all to make a good team? I think he's done a great job of loading up the prospect pool, but he's yet to do the most important part, and that's build a competitive team. Again, let's be serious. Let's be adults for once. You are the Chicago Blackhawks. This is your 5th draft coming up. You have a franchise player. You have a great young talent behind him with Frank Nazar. You have a bunch of help on the way. You have your top 4 pretty much set in place. Like, get them some help.